Adam. It is a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So how do you feel you're here at the Windrush Awards 2025? How are you feeling about that?
I feel really great about it because this is the third one that I have attended, and I'm so glad that we've had 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things start and they finish. I think this one is an excellent one, building on last year's event. So I'm really, really glad to be here.
Perfect. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Adams. I mean, what makes you a doctor, by the way? Like, why Dr. Adams and not just Mr. Adams?
Well, it's a long story to go into why Dr. Adams and why not Mr. Adams, which is tied to the Windrush
Okay, wonderful.
generation and the children that came over from the Windrush generation era and the way that we were treated by the British education system. So my journey from Trev Adams to Dr. Adams is part of that lived experience of putting the record straight, that when we came, we weren't backwards, we weren't troublemakers, we were illiterate, but what we experienced through the system was what we had to endure. And so studying and getting to doctoral level was my way of putting my record straight, but also the record straight of all of the children of the Windrush generation who they thought weren't smart enough.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. Thank you so much for all your hard work to get to that point, on to where you are now. So what is it that you do, please, like in terms of your day-to-day work? I saw you give a nice prayer for us all earlier. So are you a pastor, or if you could tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, that's $1 million question. I'm always asked, what do I do? And I normally start my response with, I serve.
Perfect.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I serve. And I serve in many different capacities. But serving is what ultimately I do. So I am a director of Luton Urban Radio. I'm working with a great team there. I am a director of the Somalian Voices Enabled. It's a Somalian community. I am the chair of the Luton Black Health Equity Steering Group. I'm a lecturer for Christ Redeemer College, which is part of the Redeemed Church. I mentor young people. A project manager for Reach Society.
Okay.
That provides inspirational role models and careers event to inspire the young generation to choose pathways to success. I'm a critical friend of the council in terms of their 2040 vision. And the list goes on and on and on. Hence the reason why I just simply say I serve, because I serve in whatever capacity is needed. I am a community pastor. A group of folks that I work with on Marsh Farm have affectionately named me the Rasta Pastor. The Rasta Pastor, purely because of the way that I engage in community. Very, very much similar to way the Rastafarians would identify that there's a struggle that is going on, and how do you bring faith to make a difference in the community. So they call me the Rasta Pastor.
Thank you very much, Rasta Pastor. I really appreciate that. So talking about serving the community, we can move on to Bob Baker.
Yes, amazing guy.
He is been serving. the community for some time. So tell us a little bit about your journey with Bob and who he is to you.
Yeah, I met Bob probably in the early 90s, probably 1990. And I was in the Starlight Youth Club, where Bob was a community development officer for the community. And at that time, I was, as I said, I worked in the youth club, but I worked in the kitchen, frying dumplings.
Okay.
And Bob didn't know me, didn't know my background, didn't know where I was coming from, and we just engaged in conversation. Most people who came into the club only saw me as a black guy frying dumplings, but Bob engaged with conversation and discovered that I had quite a wide background and experience in terms of management and leadership. So we just began to have the conversation, and I found that Bob really had a heart for the black community.
Yeah.
Really had a heart for the black community and passion to uplift the community. And I would always see him walking on the street with a flyer promoting this event, that event, always thinking about what is the next thing that he could do in order to uplift the community. So that was my first encounter with him, and my respect from him grew from that encounter. Seeing here's a genuine person who really wants to make a difference for the black community, but doing it with a passion, as well.
So thank you very much for that. I just have a last question, which is, you work a lot with the young generation, as you said, giving them a way forward in terms of aspirational people to look up to, which is really commendable. If you had one message to the younger generation of today, what would it be?
You know what? It would be what Stanley Tookie Williams said. Now, Stanley Tookie Williams was one of the founders of the Crips gang.
Okay.
Yes, the Crips in America. And Stanley Tookie Williams ended up in prison on death row. And whilst on death row, he wrote a number of books. And these books were dedicated to children. And because the younger generation were glorifying the gangster, the Bloods and the Crips. And Stanley Tookie Williams highlighted, he said, that's not a life to live. That's not a life to live. Study. Learn your history. Know where you're coming from. Learn science. Learn geography. And I would say that to young people. Study, educate yourself, develop yourself. Why? Because what I teach young people is the biggest problem in the world is not crime, it's not wars. The biggest problem in the world is ignorance. Ignorance. And it's ignorance that destroys us. It's ignorance that tells us, that stops us from understanding who we are and the greatness that's inside of us and all that we can be. And so it would be that. It would be study. Find yourself a mentor that you can sit at the feet of that person and learn and develop yourself. Learn from their mistake, but also learn from their successes so that you can take your community forward. And also, it's not about you. It isn't just about you. You're part of the village. Find out more about that village, but also find out about your gifting. Why do you have that particular gifting and passion, and contribute to making the world a better place than when you came into this world?
It's been wonderful speaking to you, Dr. Adams. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. here with the one and only Mr. Onstage there, Winfred. Thank you for being here with us. So, how are you feeling today?
Cold.
Cold, right? You have all your scarf, you're ready, but you look good though, man. You look slick, you look slick, you look slick.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you.
Yes, yes.
I like your mafia on your chest.
Welcome to Africa, my new song, so you know, the promotion. Yes, so what has brought you all the way to cold England today?
Well, actually, we came for the main reason was Gregory Cool Ruler, the musical, which was premiered yesterday.
Wonderful.
And it's a big success.
Wonderful.
The premiere. So that's what brought us up. And we did, since the splash was going on, which we've heard of and have always been impressed with.
Yeah.
We came out today to look at it and to get our own little experience out of it and to carry back a story on it this time.
Nice.
For the first time.
So how are you feeling? Like, how are you feeling? You're on the ground, you're in City Splash. How are you feeling today?
It's a good look. It's a good look so far at the event. I think at this time the turnout is well. It appears people are excited and will be more excited, I suspect, later when artists started going on. And we see that so many of our artists are on the lineup. So we're looking forward to them, to how people respond to them here in this market.
Exactly. So saying that, moving on from that question, so who do you think is going to do well in this market? From your, experience, you have the yard experience, but this is London now, so how are you feeling? What do you think? We're not going to hold you to it.
Well, in my opinion,